the coolest part is you start meeting needs that you didn't know that you had. And then you start having really intentional relationships that you didn't know that you were lacking. And that's the funnest part about being in a ministry with people with disabilities. So Young Life Capernaum is a ministry that seeks to reach teens and young adults with special needs and disabilities. Disabilities range anywhere from autism to Asperger's to Down syndrome. And it's always great to, when we first meet a kid with a disability, seeing that maybe they're shy at club and maybe they don't have a lot of friends and maybe they're not there. And then a couple months later, seeing them up on stage at club, dancing around, seeing volunteers go to their house for dinner and that not be like a service opportunity, but that just being life. This is not as scary as everyone thinks it is. This is not as hard as everyone thinks it is. You don't need as much training as you think you do. I mean, when you go into elementary school, they don't say, hey, we're going to train you how to be friends with somebody today. It really is about building relationships, because that's the biggest thing that's lacking in that world of disabilities is relationships are hard to find for them. They're hard to keep with them. I'd say one of the biggest difficulties within the special needs world and within special needs ministry is that our friends with disabilities, when they graduate high school, sometimes there's a special day program that they can go into, but usually mid-20s there's not a lot available for them anymore. Not a lot of things that don't cost an obscene amount of money. And it's unfortunate because only 1 in 15 churches in America has a special needs program or is planning one. So that's always hard to see when you see great local churches that are doing amazing work, but there's such a huge component of the kingdom that is getting skipped. I think we can just kind of pass by them. We can see them in the grocery store, we can see them walking around at school, and we can just assume that, you know, the school district or the government or a local program are meeting those people's needs, and we can kind of go, okay, I think they're okay. But there's a real intentional incarnational ministry that a lot of times isn't taking place. To go in and meet those needs of having friends, meet those needs of having colleagues, peers, people that just care for you because you are who you are, and kind of remove the special needs portion of that. Like, it's, instead of meeting a special need, we're meeting a very basic need. In San Diego, 18% of the population has some type of disability. And you know, you go to churches and you look in the congregation and you see nobody in the crowd with a disability, and you go, wow, we're missing 18% of our population in our city right now. And it's just like, oh man, like, and then it's almost more unfortunate because it's like, do you know what you're missing? Like, this is gonna be so great that your church might be able to engage this community. Like, do you have any idea what a blessing it is to meet those needs, not only for you, but for those families? Seeing a place where there's just so little life turn into a place of abundant life. And just watching that happen is the coolest process I think I've ever been able to be blessed enough to watch.